It'd be funny if we just immediately lose this chemistry once we start recording. Just stop talking. It just gets awkward as shit.
Just suddenly hate you. Hold on, your laugh is so loud. I'm gonna turn it.
Yeah.
That is
No,
one
you
thing
can just
I
cut the
noticed.
laugh out from the whole episode. Yeah, no, it sounds
You
insane.
know it's you said you've heard it before?
Oh! Yeah, all the time. Yeah. And I'll listen to it. I'm like, oh, fuck. I should probably cut that.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Finn Invasion. I'm your host, Autumn Finn, and today I knew I was going to be going off track, and I knew I didn't give a shite. I knew I didn't give a flying flippity flapjack. Also, don't censor yourself. You can very much swear.
Immediately, I froze up. I was like, fuck. I can't say fuck.
I was like, I don't know what the HE double sippy straws. We've got Michael Gooden, which is the best comedian name I've ever heard.
Thank you.
Is it real?
That's real. And there's another Michael Good that does comedy.
I know
In New York.
Drew Gooden, who lives in Orlando.
Okay.
You know Drew Gooden, right?
No, I don't think I do.
Drew Gooden, the
I don't know.
YouTuber?
No.
Okay, you're like, yeah, people who have like 5 million subscribers. Okay, no, you're pissing me off now.
show me who
which
Drew
is
Gooden
why
is.
I'm going to show you. Here's the thing. He used to perform a little bit at Sac Comedy Club.
My bad. Started burp right near my
It's okay. I gave you a carbonated drink. That's my own fault. Okay, hold on. Drew Gooden, he started on Vine back in like 2013. I don't know if you've seen the very popular.
I was like smoking pot out of Gatorade bottles in 2013.
Yes, but did you hear the Vine that goes, road work ahead? Yeah, I sure hope it does. That's Drew Gooden. He's friends with like all the YouTubers.
Oh, I definitely recognize this guy.
That's
yeah.
Drew Gooden.
Yeah,
So he still, for some reason, stays in Orlando for
Because
reasons
this place
I
is
will know.
awesome. Fuck New York. This place is awesome. I love Florida so much.
Okay, because recently I talked to someone who moved from Florida to New York, and he seemed pretty adamant that New York was better.
Well, it depends on like what you're. So for stand-up, like if I live,
You're like, I get really cold and my nipples get hard when it's cold.
it's chewy. I don't like it.
It's chewy. You freeze your nuts off, dude. You
Yeah,
ever
yeah.
been there? Anyways, continue.
No, yeah, but it's like I love it here. The thing is, I would be getting drunk too much if I lived here. There's just too many bodies of water that I would want to drink by. I think New York, because it sucks, I think it's really good for comedy because it's like, oh, okay, well, it's like really motivating because as I was saying, like you have friends, they get great opportunities, and then you're like, I'm gonna go
There's
home.
a lot of opportunities in New York.
Yeah.
For sure.
And there's more stage time there. But at the end of the day, it's like for enjoying your life, it's not a great place to live.
What? Okay. You realize that's a hot take.
Yeah.
People love New York.
I know, but it's like the thing is like
It's so cold. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, it's
It
just
would be
cold.
funny. It
Yeah,
would
yeah.
be funny if that was your only argument.
Yeah,
that
like-
would be funny.
yeah, it's cold. I don't like it. But it's like the people there, I will say this, are cunty. Like very like they think they're better
I've
than
heard
like
that.
everybody.
I've heard that people are not the kindest.
No. And for no reason. They're like, hey, you get to know me, then you'll like me. I'm like, why would I want to get to know you if you're a dick when I
It's like,
first meet
you
you?
wouldn't like me when I'm angry. I don't like you now.
Yeah, why the fuck would I like you? Yeah.
I'm walking here. Get
Yeah,
out
yeah.
of my way. Bada bing, bada boom. Spaghetti. The Bears. Fuck
Yeah.
you. That's
Like it was
all I
Chicago.
know.
Yeah.
Chicago.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're selling tomato sauce.
Wait, you're from Boston though, right?
I was born in. How'd you know?
Oh, can we say how we met?
Yes,
Yeah.
everyone. Him and I technically met on Bumble, and you said your age was 24 on there. You little lying
says
sack
that?
of shit. I think
Wait,
it
can
does.
you pull? It definitely does not. That I must have fucked up the date.
Here we
Wait,
go.
why would I try to look younger on there?
You, because as soon as you showed up, one of the first things I was going to say is like, how the fuck am I older than you?
No.
I
Wait.
got a young ass face, in my opinion. I
Yeah.
look younger than I am. I got them chubby ass cheeks.
Wait, this is dangerous. My Bumble says I'm 24. I gotta change that right now.
Let me see. Okay, so it says Michael. Let me go to it. Which that's good because it is your name. Oh, it does say 26.
Okay,
Why
thank
did I
God,
think it
thank
was
God.
24?
Make sure I'm not missing out on opportunities.
Guys, I'm welcome back to another episode of reading dating profiles of men who are on my podcast.
Oh no, don't read it. It's so lame.
NYC comedian, not looking for anything ethereal, just shenanigans. Visiting Florida for the next few weeks. 5'10", that's a lie.
Bitch.
You're like very mean.
Yeah.
You're like 5'9.5". laugh.
I got my shoes on. It counts. Yeah.
Okay. Active Sagittarius. I love Sagittarius' undergraduate degree. He drinks socially. He smokes never. Gay.
Wait, cigarettes never?
Something casual. Well, it says isn't
Drunk
that a
cigarettes.
cigarette?
Yeah.
Drunk cigarettes are the best.
Oh, they're amazing.
Bro.
Yeah.
They're so good. Like spirits.
Oh.
I'm a Marlboro Bold kind of
27s.
Bold Gold. Sorry, wow. I've had a few drinks.
It's 3 o'clock.
Something casual. Kids, not sure yet. Correct answer. Agnostic, wrong. That's called a gateway atheist. That's called
What does yours say? What does yours say?
impending atheist. Mine says atheist, I think. Apolitical, meaning it doesn't affect me. This whole abortion laws, I don't like him, but do I? Yeah, what do you mean by apolitical? Yeah.
Oh, okay, this is heated. I'll get into it.
I see a single tear fall down your face.
Because it's one of those things, too, where, like, it's very funny because people do 2 things. In New York, if you say you're apolitical, they say you're Republican. And here, if you say you're apolitical, they think you're liberal.
Really?
A lot of people are like, oh, so you're, like, liberal. I'm like, I'm left-leaning, I'd say for the most part, but I'm, like, not very, like...
So correct. Sorry, I'm dogmatic. That's my own
But it's
fault.
like, I really feel like it's one of those things where it's like, I care about things, but it's like, I'm not the one that's going to... It sounds so... People are going to get so pissed, but, like, I'm not going to be the one to fix the problem. And I think so many comics get so political, and I'm like, that's fine, but for me, I'm like, that's not my strong suit, so I want to focus on being funny, and, like, I'd rather, like... I'll still, like, have political discussions with people, but, like, I'd rather, like, that. I love, like, a drunk 5 a.m. cigarette smoking political discussion on somebody's back porch where we're like, yeah, let's legalize all the drugs. Like, that's the kind of, like, my speed.
Yeah. As soon as you say, like, you were like, I don't really talk about politics on stage until it affects you directly. Until you got some hot girl who you get prego-wego and prego-ego-wegos, and then...
And I'm like, we need to legalize abortion right now!
You can't get an abortion-worshie, and then you hop up on stage in New York, and you're like, so what's the deal with abortion, right? You're like, we should have it.
Yeah.
You get booed off stage. You're like, wait, I have fart jokes. I swear to God. No, everyone, please stay. Please stay.
Don't leave.
I can change. I can change.
But that just means in my like, because I think there are 2 different things. You know what I mean? It's like one thing I hate is I don't hate everybody does, because some people do a really good job at, like, sending a message through their art form, but some people are so bad about it, and it comes off so cunty. It comes so condescending, and I'm like, oh, you're just bad at this. You know what I mean? It's like,
it was a combination of the word cunty and condescending. So cunty.
Yes, that's right.
Condescending.
Intentionally did. Yeah.
Condescending. We've created a new word. Michael Gooden and Autumn Finn have created a new fucking word, you jackasses.
Condescending,
Condescending is incredible.
But it makes so much sense, because that's what that is, It was like, I was in the back of a cab recently, and there's an advertisement from Seth Rogen. He was promoting his new Ninja Turtle movies. He's like, hey guys, don't litter. And I was like, well, I wasn't going to litter, but now this is so, like, I'm a grown adult. Don't tell me not to fucking litter. It's like when somebody tells you to wash your hands. I'm like, I'll wash my hands. But, like, I also, like, I hate people telling me what to do.
Yes.
So that's why.
No, you have a problem with authority. You're like, first of all, litter, I hardly know her.
Yeah.
Second, if I'm out here with a carton of milk from places where you buy cartons of milk, and I'm walking on the fucking street, and littering is bad. Actually, halfway through this joke, I realized, I was like, wait a minute. But yeah, as soon as someone tells you to do a thing, it doesn't feel, it's like almost stripping you of your autonomy.
Totally, yeah. I'm
used to that. As a woman in Florida, in what's technically a red state, believe me, I'm very used to having as you can see when I yell, I have to pull the mic away from me.
Yeah.
I have to. I'm very used to being stripped and of my autonomy and of my rights. Cheers.
Wait, what am I cheering? I told you I'm not political. What am I cheering? I'm just kidding.
We're cheersing to women please having their autonomy. I mean, thank God I can dye my hair red.
No,
you've said nothing controversial.
I'm kidding. No, I'm totally kidding. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to lose momentum.
Yes,
there.
I was talking about your dating profile.
Yeah.
So, guys, him and I matched on Bumble. As soon as I saw this profile picture of him holding it, I said, business opportunity. That's just me being honest, man.
Ignore the face.
Business opportunity. Oh,
I'm kidding. Okay, this is the one thing. I am going through a breakup, but I'm kidding when I say stuff like that.
You're cuter in person.
Thank you. Oh, I appreciate that. Yeah.
But yeah, so everyone, just so you know, he's a single man. You're like, yeah.
Are you trying to
really
get me pussy on your podcast? Listeners out there, Michael Good Comedy on Instagram.
All of you 10 listeners, including her mom.
Yeah. Wait, who? Your mom?
My mom actually is.
Oh, okay.
My mom actually is. This is a picture of me, my mom, and my sister.
Oh, nice. Yeah, okay, well, especially your mom. No, I'm just kidding.
We're guessing, hey, we're going to play a fun game of guess how old my mom is. So as you can see, my mom is in that, holy crap, in that top corner right there. How old is Autumn Finn's mom?
Well, there's a lot of wrong answers I could say.
Earnest guess.
Yes. Okay.
You're going to be
47?
My mom is earnestly 65 years old.
Holy shit, good for her. Yeah.
That's my future, you guys. Both my mom and my dad listen to this. Like, they're so supportive and, like, love them.
Oh, I have
my
the same
dad
thing.
would laugh at this, but, like, my mom, she'd be like, Autumn, you know what porn is?
Oh, it's so funny because I have such a similar but different my parents are so far in now that it's like, so I had this little bit, I hate to cut you off. Wait, do you want to finish the porn thing?
No.
I was curious.
Yours.
So So when I was a kid, so first off, my parents just listen to the podcast, and it's usually disgusting stuff, and they just get used to it. Like I tell them it's not for them, but they still continue to listen to it. And I had this one where I talked about when I was like a kid, my sister had a life-sized Barbie head, that, like you'd comb its hair.
Yep, I had that exact same thing.
Okay, so when I was a kid, I tried because it made sense.
There was no segue into that. You jumped really, really deep into it. You're like, so I did some very obscene things, and then it stopped working for some reason. It'd be funny if instead of like growing hair, like it just released tears. It just started crying. The fucking dumbass Barbie head just started fucking crying. Oh my god, it's like trauma Barbie head. Oh my god, that'd be so good. Oh, that was a great joke.
Yeah,
thank you,
fucking good.
everyone. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. No, I talked about it a bunch in the podcast. And then my grandparents listened, and my dad called me. He's like, your grandparents were like disgusted by this. He's like, they turned it off.
By something hysterical? Oh, my bad.
And I'm pretty sure they got her the gift too. So they're like, God damn it. If we would have known Michael was going to try to fuck it, we probably wouldn't have gotten it for her. But, and so like, and I get really like stern with my dad with stuff where I'm like, no, I get really defensive. Like, this is my art. This is like what I talk about. And this is so funny. He's like, and I hang up on the phone with him. My mom calls me. She's like, I just want you to know we love you and support you and all your hard work. And then I'm walking with my dad like a couple weeks later. And he literally goes, yeah.
Walking like in like a nice like New York park?
No, we were visiting family in Tennessee. So we're like, it's like a beautiful forest walk, like through the woods.
Aww.
The leaves are changing.
That's when you reconcile.
Yeah.
In a Tennessee like forest. That's like the known place. You guys ever watched a movie before? That's when you reconcile with your father. Continue.
Yeah, no, of course. But then he was like, I was listening to Eddie Murphy, and he had these. He goes, swear to God, he goes, he has these jokes about sticking toys up his ass, but he's so charming when he says it. You know, you're kind of like abrasive and it's a little obnoxious. And I'm like, just tell me you don't like it. You don't have to be like Eddie Murphy did it, because he's just telling me I don't have charm. He's not even telling me.
Did it better.
Yeah. I'm like, really? Is Eddie Murphy a better? Thank you, Dad. I appreciate that. But
because like, I just want to let you know, this professional comedian that's 20 years older than you and has been doing it for a very long time and has so much experience,
well, he was 19
actually
at the time,
does
to be
happen.
fair, but yeah.
Wait, what'd you say?
He was 19 when he filmed that special, but.
Oh.
Yeah, so I have no excuse.
I was trying to help you out. I tried to help you out. It failed really bad.
Yeah.
That motherfucker was 19.
Oh, it's insane. Like people don't know like the trajectory, and this is also me always defending where I am in my career. I'm like, it takes a really long time to get places.
For comedy, that is so far from a straightforward career path. Dude, podcasting, even riskier, which is why all you dumb motherfuckers out there should be hashtag supporting me. Why did I hashtag it? Now I unfollowed. Like, wait, hold on. Support women in comedy. Oh, which takes me to this top. Wait, finish your story, and then we're gonna go
No. So that was just that. But it's like they've had to deal with so much of that. Like I talk a lot about sex stuff. I talk a lot about. It's like they're very like my mom. Also, my mom's gotten my dick pics through the iCloud, so they're like so far into my life that it's like there's no turning back.
She hits you back up. You're like, you shouldn't have.
Yeah, I don't know why. It's like shave, just groom a little bit.
Even if she's like, why do you have? I don't understand.
It's like, I don't think that's healthy.
Just pluck it out. You're like, no, it'll hurt really bad. She's like, you're a little bitch. See, why do you
That's not how I raised you.
She replies, I'm sorry, I don't speak virgin. I don't know what you're even fucking saying right now. I knew I was going to be unhinged with you as soon as you came on the pod.
Yeah.
Which is why I knew that my questions were going to be just like silly, goofy guy questions. Okay, so... one of the most iconic lines you said on your podcast, you were like, maybe one day I'll be a better father because of it. You said something about...
Was that about getting jerked off by the dominatrix?
It was... Maybe it was either that or like the random dude at a hotel who wanted to...
Oh, yeah.
You're like, maybe one day I'll be a better father because of it. I was like, because here's the thing. He could be a better father because of it.
Yeah.
And
Kids,
who are you to
sure.
stand in the way of the paternal process of becoming a good...
Yeah, we're talking to you, Ron DeSantis specifically. See, I can.
God damn it, Ron DeSanti-Wanty. You're just
you
a
don't want me to be
little
a
cunt.
father? Yeah.
More like Ron DeCuntis. Sorry.
Yeah, I like calling him Rob DeSanchez. Just because it's funny to have names that are just slightly different.
You're like, it's because I don't listen.
Yeah.
So I have this little game here, this little question game. It's not even a question. It's called First Thoughts. That's what I named it. I named the game because I'm a podcast host and I have to come up with segments. So I say one topic or word or just sentence or celebrity name, and you give me your first knee-jerk reaction. For example, it's like unicorns. Oh, best animal.
Wait, I hate to do this. I can't hear myself. That's fine, right? It's still recording?
Yes, it's absolutely super recording. Oh, I hate that you can't hear yourself. I'm
it's
sorry.
fine. No, I don't mind it.
You can hear me?
Yeah, no, I can't hear you coming through, but I can hear you talk. Like, I'm not deaf. I can hear it, but...
You can't hear anything in your fucking microphone? What
No.
the ain't you double 50 straws plugged in?
It's fine. So it's totally fine for me.
Hey, I know why. It's because it's not plugged in. That might have something to do with... Get a load of this guy. Get a load of this guy. That is so funny. Hello?
Oh, my God. This is what it would sound like the whole time.
This is what it was sounding like the whole time. Can you hear me and yourself?
Yeah, I can hear both of us now.
God, it's so funny. He literally just said, I looked at it, I was like, those aren't wireless. Like, I was like, those ain't Bluetooth.
Oh my
God.
She's fucking high tech. Got the Bluetooth.
It's
These
so-
Beats by Dre. What is this? I've been fired from 2 day jobs because of my podcast.
Get the fuck out of town.
Yeah.
What? No.
Twice.
Okay, you have to tell me how that happened.
Yeah.
They were like, no. I said, this is what they hit you with. It's been brought to our attention. Did they hit you with it's been brought to my attention?
It's like that. So I was working as a receptionist at this place, and first off, they're not. I'll go into it. So they called me into the office, and I thought I was getting promoted. So like I walked in all confident, and I was like, all right.
Your read on body language is just wildly off.
It's way off. Yeah. So I was like, all right, I think you mean Mr. Michael Good, but anyways, I'll continue. I think
Dr.
you mean manager.
Mr. Superstar, rock star, sex god.
Yeah. I think that's what you meant to say. But we walk in and she's like, hey, so we found out you did comedy. And then she's like, I was like, oh, no. And she goes, your comedy content doesn't align with our company values, so we're going to have to let you go. And I was like,
company values.
Yeah.
The way that sounds. That's them saying, like, pieces of paper tell us that we're wrong, but we actually, as human beings, they probably didn't give a fuck. But it was like, yeah.
It would be very funny to be like, let's map out your values. We'll compare them to my values and see if they're different.
They were like, so as you can see right here, I voted for Obama in 2014.
I was like, I couldn't vote then. They're like, still, you should have. You still should have figured it out.
You're like, I wasn't 18 at the time. You just sort of, you find a way. You find a way when you care that much about an issue. You fucking find a way.
Yeah. And then but it's funny too to think about somebody listening to the podcast going like, yeah, we got to fire this guy. like picturing them going like, but it was
they're just like, they're like, as much as I hate to do it, he's got to go.
Yeah. But it's also like they're not. I was a receptionist, so nobody's gonna pick up the phone and be like, "Wait a second, I know that voice. Is that
Are
Michael
you
Good?
Michael Gooden?
The
You're
Morning
like,
Good podcast.
Oh my god, yeah! Thank you so much for hello.
Yeah. They check. I'm like, yeah.
Oh my god, that's so funny. I mean, sad.
Oh, it's like
that you've lost some jobs. Were they jobs that you didn't give a shit about?
Yeah, I didn't give a fuck. And then the second one was even funnier because it was like, the second one they saw a podcast clip of me talking about getting fired for my podcast, and they went, "Oh, they literally go, if they would have done it, we're gonna do." They're like, they already did it.
No, that's so fucking lame, dude.
Oh, it's crazy, yeah.
Oh my god. So I have this game here. It's called, First Thoughts, meaning I give you a topic or a word or something, and you give your first reaction. Now, for example, it's like, unicorns, best animal. Adam Levine, don't know why so many people think he's hot. 9/11, didn't like it, wasn't there, didn't do it,
Bush
swear to
did it.
God.
Okay.
Bush did it. So I just throw random things your way, and if you have a full-ass story, then by all means. Because I knew I wanted some of this podcast to be somewhat structured because
segments are great.
Most of the
you're
people,
killing it.
segments and thank you, segments and questions and everything and some kind of structure. But I do love chaos.
Yeah.
And your podcast is
total chaos. Yeah.
It's like just a funny, happy, silly, goofy guy, and then every now and then it's like, and then when I was 3 years old, no, I'm just kidding. No, I'm kidding. Okay, so number 1, Furbies. Government. They have cameras in. There was this whole controversy that apparently there were cameras in them, or they were recording you. Damn. No, I never had a Furby because I wasn't rich as a child.
I don't think I had Furbies either. They remind me of my cousins because I think my cousins had them. Mm-hmm. And I had an uncle named Herbie, which is unrelated completely, but he's dead. But that's
he's sus. The good thing he's dead.
I think
the world's
died.
a better place.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, you're fine.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. I think he died in a lake. I think he died in a lake, which is kind of like a beautiful way to die. That reminds me of that's at the end of a. Have you seen The Godfather?
Sure.
That's at the end of the life, heart attack, dying and falling in a lake is
in a beautiful way. Yeah,
it's amazing. Yeah,
it's a cooler way than Elvising it, dying on a toilet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're I would very much let it be known here today. I would much prefer a sexy, beautiful way to die.
Oh yeah. Well, did you see Elvis, by the way?
The movie?
Yeah.
The one with Austin Butler,
yeah.
who is so attractive. Let's be honest here for a second. No, I didn't
He's not
watch
my ex-girlfriend,
it.
so he's not attractive.
He got... You're I actually hooked up with him. I'll have you know, New York City. He was feeling lonely one night.
My favorite Elvis is middle pillhead Elvis. Beginning Elvis, not so fun. No. Shell of a human Elvis, very end, not fun. Him waving a gun around on pills, I was like, yes. I was like, that is... They needed to... The whole movie should have just been him partying. They should have shown a little more of that.
I am the worst thing since Elvis Presley to use black music so selfishly and use it to get myself wealthy. Hey, here's a concept that works. Anyways, next one. So number 2 is reading books. Gay. No, just
literally a little bit. Yeah, a little bit would be willing to say gay. Well, it's I'm terrible at reading. I'm really.
Yep. I have ADHD.
Yeah.
Diagnosed, not Instagram #ADHD. No, actual. Been diagnosed when I was 9 years old. Fuck you.
Did you get put on drugs?
Oh, you better believe it. First Adderall, then Vyvanse.
We were so alike. Same.
Vyvanse. I'm sorry. I loved Vyvanse. Vyvanse was good.
Yeah.
Vyvanse gets your shit going. I'll tell you that. It makes you so inspired. Makes you work so hard.
You can't snort it though, unless you put it in the microwave.
Hold the fuck up. There's a story there.
Yeah.
Here's the thing is that I never understood when people would snort narcotics or like would snort like Adderall and ADHD meds. Like, what does it fucking do?
So this is how this all works. So my friends group, we did a lot of drugs as teenagers. And
Okay, so you were cool.
very cool. All downhill since high school. That was the peak of life.
All right, of course.
But one of my friends, they skipped school with this other guy, and what they did is with Vyvanse. I remember I went through like an 8th grade breakup, and I was just feeling chaotic. Or I was in 9th grade, I was like, I'm gonna snort a bunch of Vyvanse. The next day I came to school, and I was like, yeah, man, I snorted a bunch of. Well, no, I was like, I went crazy last night. I snorted a bunch of Vyvanse. My friend goes, that doesn't work. I was like, what?
It doesn't.
He goes, no, you got to put it in the microwave for 30 seconds. It diffuses because Vyvanse is made so you can't snort it. But then
it's a instant release. It's IR.
Or extended release because it's longer lasting. Instant
Yeah,
release.
you're right. It's not IR. Yeah, it's SR. Sorry, I've been off of it for like 7 months.
Good for you. It's
I
not
want
easy
it back.
Yeah.
It's also not cheap. It's also expensive.
There's like a huge shortage.
Oh, huge! Why do you think I don't have it?
Yeah.
Believe me, I would have it if I could. That shit was like $300 a month, though.
Yeah, I was in New York because I take it here and there, and they're like, yeah, we don't know where any. I was like, what? They're like, I went to Walgreens. They're like, yeah, we don't know when it's coming in. I was like, do you know a pharmacy nearby?
Exactly.
They're like, nope. But
And you were like, okay.
Yeah.
They noped with a popped pea. They went, nope.
Yeah. No.
They were excited to say no to you.
Yeah.
Continue speaking.
Well, it's also like crazy too because like I was put on Adderall so young. It's so weird when you're prescribed Adderall and a bedtime. I'm like, do you want me to fall asleep or not? I just like stay up on amphetamines and then get like no sleep.
Amphetamines are intense.
Oh, totally.
Amphetamines are no joke. But no, the second one was, and we didn't even jump into it, I said reading books.
Oh, yeah. It was
We
terrible.
were on a segment called First Thoughts, which is when I say a thing at you and then you give me your first knee-jerk reaction. The first one was Furbies.
I'm sorry. I turned this off. It keeps going. So
the second one was reading books.
Yeah. I was so bad at reading. I remember in high school, if I'd get in trouble, because I'd get in trouble for drinking and stuff like that, and my parents, what they would do is they'd be like, you have to read.
As a punishment?
Yeah, I'd have to read. So I would just get the book on tape and put it on like super speed so I could just get done with it very fast. Yeah. But
was it a good book? Was it like To Kill a Mockingbird?
that is a good book, but no, yeah.
Oh, sorry, I don't read. I literally have never read that book. Are you kidding me? Sorry, I'm not a fucking virgin. Who's read a book?
Are you a reader at all or no? No.
I'm a writer, which is interesting. I should be.
I'm the same fucking way. I love writing. I hate reading.
Love writing, hate reading. Exactly.
Because I'm getting cucked by writing. Somebody else is cucking me. They're like, oh, I'm going to write. Yeah, like, no.
You're like, damn, I should have thought of that.
Yeah.
Continue.
I used to read a lot of comic books just because there's pictures, and I'm a 10-year-old.
Virgin.
No, yeah, I've always been terrible at school. I think the only reason I got through was because of a ton of Adderall. Like I never.
Adderall helps the school, but also being really charming and your teachers loving you, that helps the school as well. My teachers really liked me.
See, I was charming, but then when I would take Adderall, I'd be robotic, so I'd become less fun on the Adderall. And actually, like, it kind of ruined comedy. I just basically, if I didn't do stand-up, I would still be taking Adderall. I don't really take it because of stand-up, because it makes you like. You get very robotic, and then you're like mathematic.
Yeah, a little bit.
You get mad at the audience. You're like, no, this joke should work. I did the formula. I did the thing, and then you guys aren't laughing.
And it's your fault.
Yeah. They're like, what?
You gaslight the audience. So I got 2 into the First Thoughts little segment that I thought of, and there's.
This is the funny two parts. We're both violent. We have violent ADD. Both of us, so we haven't made. If we had to like solve an actual problem, this would be horrendous.
Here's the thing: when people are like, "I have ADHD or ADD," I was like, "If you haven't been medicated, you don't know what we go through."
Oh, and you fucking have it.
You feel a normal life, and then you get off your medication, and you feel ADHD all over again. You're like, "Oh, this is all the things that were wrong with me."
Well, that's the best feeling though. I love taking Adderall for like 5 days and stopping, because then you feel like you're like released from a cage. You're just like, "Wah!" Like that was my craziest.
Well,
like,
here's the thing. I feel like I'm in the unpopular opinion. I loved my ADHD meds. I
really,
loved
I hated
being
them.
on.
They make your dick shrink. That's the thing. When you're on it, not
They
permanently.
made my dick shrink too, which is great because I am a female. So
Yeah.
What they did was they stopped distracting me.
Yeah.
But no, I loved being on. Like what it did was it made me crave work, and when I say crave work, it means like it made me like fucking quit. It did what it was supposed to do.
Yeah.
And like I craved like kind of motivation. I felt very motivated. I loved doing like, you know, sitting in front of my computer and doing the things that we all hate doing, which is crouching over our computer, editing and doing all this shit that is so time consuming and tedious.
Yeah.
I don't know if you produce your own podcast, but I sure produce my own. I do fucking everything.
Yeah, you put fun little voice changes on it. It's like a T-Pain music video. I love
Yeah,
hearing
no,
it.
I
It's
did
like,
some
yeah!
auto-tune. I did some
Yeah,
auto-tune.
yeah.
I was like, and my sister on the small one. Like I was like, yeah, I had a Care Bear. Oh my God, can I do it to my Care? That
sounds
good.
fucking good. Yeah,
That
yeah.
was a good Care.
Yeah.
Oh my God, do I have talent? Do women have talent? You're like, I will go on record and say right here to the camera
Women have talent.
that women have talent for
okay,
sure.
no, cut that.
You're like, I don't want to give false information.
No,
I don't want to be
yeah.
a Trumpian.
Elon Musk is going
Like,
to take it down, yeah.
You're like, they don't. Didn't he break up with Grimes recently?
Maybe.
I liked Grimes' music.
Yeah,
I
but
was
he was
a
like,
Grimes.
it's not working for my new platform, actually.
It was like, my house. I do a Grimes impression and you do your Elon.
He always
"Oh,
sounds
yes."
like he has toothpaste in his mouth. Like, just like a little bit.
It's not like you've done good things. It's like you've done such good and probably such bad things for the world.
I
as
just
well.
hate him on aliens because he's so like, yeah, no, there's no evidence. I'm like, fuck you, there's fucking evidence. I was like, I know
Fuck
you
you.
know about it. Stop
I
hiding it from
have
me.
a podcast called The Fin Invasion. If I was
He probably wouldn't
adamant
acknowledge
about
it. If he was on here, he'd be like, I was never on it. It doesn't exist.
if I had adamant proof, if I was adamant about aliens not existing, I think it's just more likely that they do.
Yeah.
The universe is fucking enormous. I was like, I went to school once. Like, I was like, I've been to a science class, okay?
Yeah.
A science class with this accent that I don't actually have. And I was there, and they were like, yeah, we don't know. And I was like, so you're a fucking dickhead if you're like, no, I know for sure. Like, I've been to Mars, Saturn, Jupiter, other planets that I put in my like science fair project. I was like, no one likes. I don't. When I talk to you, I don't have fun. Like,
Yeah.
I was like,
I have
you
a friend like
suck.
that. He has no imagination. I'll send him like a cool UFO video, and he's like, actually, this is incorrect. And he'll send me like a video of a guy debunking it. And I was like, fuck you, just have some imagination.
You're like, I had no idea that you were the spawn of Ben Shapiro.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
well, technically speaking, there's no evidence of UFOs.
Well, technically speaking, bada-bada-bada-bada-boo. And I was like, okay, well, technically speaking, you hate trans people, and so I'm not about it. The number 3 on the first thoughts is Harry Styles.
Oh, I don't like him. I don't like him. I don't like him.
Why not?
Because I think it's like, okay, I think he's cosplaying gay a little bit, but he's not. So it's kind of poserish.
This is an interesting opinion for someone who I don't think you're like out here like, yeah, I went to 17 pride parades and I'm really about it. I don't think you're about it. I think you've heard maybe the LGBT perspective and you're like, yeah, who needs this guy?
Well,
That's what I think.
I appreciate that input. I think it's interesting. So it's weird because I'm very much not like this is something I formed on my own opinion. There's nothing to do with.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I'm very much like, so I'm never like tell people how to dress, tell people what to do, all that stuff. But I don't, there's a thing with like something that seems unauthentic. And I think there's a lot of like, so it's like, first off, in the 80s, Motley Crue, their whole thing was they go, we can dress like women and have sex with more women than any other rock stars. That was kind of like a fun thing.
You're like AKA legends.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. They're like, yeah, we're gonna dress like there was men that would come out, like straight men, they'd be like, we want to hook up with the girls from Motley Crue. They'd be like, no, those are men. They're like, what? And so like that, like the androgynousness, the kind of like gender, I don't know the exact word, but like changing has like always been a thing.
Gender fluidity.
Right, yeah.
As you can see, I'm a part of the LGBT fam squad.
I support it.
Continue.
Yeah. But
Your tirade.
yeah, but then there's something about like somebody do, and then like Kurt Cobain's worn a dress on, you know what I mean? But then I kind of don't like people just doing a thing that's been a thing and now they're getting credit for doing it. Does that make any sense? It's like
No, it absolutely makes sense. Now, I'm
beautiful singer, by the way. Amazing. His voice is amazing. I love his music.
Harry
I like his
Styles,
music a lot.
unbelievable. Yeah. You're like, no, understand. I love every single song, but I just don't support him as a guy.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. He's on my wall. I
Yeah.
can't lie. He's also, again, right there. His first album. I was a 1D fangirl at age 14. And as you guys know, I am 26 on paper. In my heart, I'm 21.
Okay. What level do you read at, though? 27 or 22?
Third grade?
Yeah.
But yes, no, I am technically 26, so I've loved this man since I was like 15, 14, bitch. And this album was the most life-changing album I listened to. My former favorite band of 7 years, there's this band called The 1975.
Yeah.
And I used to be like, I don't know if I've talked about this. I definitely haven't talked about this on the podcast, but I used to be kind of like YouTube famous within that community, within this niche. Like, there's this band called The 1975. Have you heard of them?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Are you never gonna quit? Yeah, no. So very popular for several years. They were my favorite band, and I used to make these like fangirl videos about them, and I got surprisingly popular when I was like 18, 19, 20. And there was this guy who went viral on TikTok. He released this video called, the like caption of the TikTok video is like, what the 1975 sounds like to people who aren't fans of the 1975.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm in love with you and I don't want to take drugs with you anymore, 'cause this is a metaphor. And it was like this whole like British fucking mess. And I reached out to him. I was like, do you want to do an interview on my podcast? And he was like, I recognize you. And I was like, what? And he was like, no, like, this is like, I'm kind of starstruck right now because you were like the queen of the 1975 fan base. You used to make videos about them. I said, bitch, you know those?
Yeah.
You know the 18, 19-year-old version of Autumn Finn?
Yeah.
Like, I was like, that's just crazy. But yeah, I used to make videos about them and they got like 40, 50,000 views. So there's a niche community out there. And I was like, I want to delete them so bad because Maddie Healy has gotten into so many fucking controversies that I don't fucking like. And I was like, motherfucker, I'm associated with you now. Like, my first claim to fame was that I had a very, very active audience of like hundreds of people that liked me talking about you, and now you're doing all this racist, sexist shit.
Well, I also think it's also like inevitable though, because it's like even any musician, like not any, but it's like you could be like, I love Jimi Hendrix. Jimi Hendrix like hit women. He threw a glass bottle at a woman's face. So it's like there's no Yeah. It's very hard to like be a fan of somebody and then
completely innocent.
Yeah. But no, I also with the music thing though, it's also really hard too because it's like I know I have bad taste in music and movies. So and this is not like it's not like I have a controversial taste where people are like, oh no, I get that. It's like people are like, enough people disagree with me that I'm like, no, I get it. Riff Raff's not the artist of a generation.
You're like, LL Cool J is not the it's not the greatest guy to have tattooed on my arm.
I won't even argue with people. I'm like, yeah, I get it. Some 41 is not the best. No, I'm terrified. By the way, I was in a 7-year relationship, but I'm terrified of commitment. I think the relationship like snowballed. Like, obviously I loved the person, but I was like, it kept going. And
it was familiarity. You were used to it. You were comfortable.
Yeah. And it's like if I get the wrong candy at a vending machine, I'll debate it for 5 minutes before getting it. And if I'll still afterwards for 30 minutes, I'll be like, fuck, I shouldn't have gotten Snickers. I should have gone with like Twix. And then so I know if I got a tattoo, I would immediately just be like, oof. Somebody asked me this real quick. Oh, I hate to cut you off.
No, you first. Hey, I'm interviewing you. I'm supposed to be talking less.
So somebody said would you get a giant tattoo on your chest that said mom for like $50,000? I said no. But they were like, what about $100,000? I said no. And by the way, I would do very other things. Like I would for let's say $500,000, I'd cut off my pinky. Like I would rather have my pinky cut off than a tattoo, which is really weird. Most people don't.
That's a really good story, though. As you can see, I have a guitar right there. I can't get rid of my pinky. I could not.
But for me, it's so
afford it.
unnecessary. But it's like I love tattoos. Like I like the way they look. I like the idea of me having. They look great.
Do they look good on me?
They look awesome. Yeah.
I love tattoos.
Yeah, and it's like I like the idea of having them on me too. But it's just like I know I'm such a like for some reason I can't get behind the idea of having them.
Here's the thing. When you have 3, you're like you overthink them. Once you have. Guess how many tattoos I have. So
I listened to this episode, by the way, before. Didn't you get all of them in 1 year? Yeah, how many do you have?
No, we're playing a guessing game first, and then I'll tell you.
1, 2. This is me going back to the, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
He listens. He's a fan. He's a fan of the Fin Invasion.
Wait, what is your fan base called? The Finsters or something? What is your...
I thought it was aliens, but maybe Finsters is pretty cute.
But is Finsters a thing? It sounds like a thing, right? A Finster?
Finster? That is really fun. Oh my god, I should call them Finsters. Thank you.
Make sure it's not a thing already, because I don't want to be stealing somebody's... Sorry, let me just... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm going to guess...
I have some
36.
It's 35.
Oh, shit. That was pretty good.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I understand. I have some on my ankles. Do you know this one?
Oh, that's the panda bear from the... What advertisement's that? Or what? It's like a...
If you say Panda Express,
I know it's not Panda Express.
When someone says like, "Oh, Panda Express," I was like, "No, it's the WWF Wildlife Conservation."
Yeah, when you buy the little stuffed animals and it saves the stuffed animal, or
and
a real animal.
It saves the stuffed animals are actually deeply oppressed. And this is from a television program called Kipper that I watched as a child. Very cute. So painful. Ankle tattoos are no joke. Wrist tattoos also no joke. I really liked the way. Here's the thing. I like the way tattoos felt. They had like a certain pain that felt really good. I don't like this area for some reason.
Oh, you got a SpongeBob one. Hell yeah.
It's a doodle bob. Why? Yeah, doodle. Me, SpongeBob. But yeah, and then I have blue. I love cartoons. And then we still need to get this one colored for my...
Oh, is that Trixie?
Hell yeah, it's Trixie, the absolute icon. Feed me and tell me I'm pretty. Which is like, oh, that's exactly what it's like to date me, bitch.
I was into... What's the... Vicky. I liked Vicky.
You liked the bad person?
Yes. I like, real quick, I just love that before your podcast, you're like, it takes me so long to edit my podcast, and now I see because of all the tangents you go off on.
Mean. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, Christ. But now, yeah, I mean, some of them were free.
Is that Medusa?
You better believe it's Medusa. It's line work Medusa. The face is FKA Twigs. Now, similar things have been done before, but the face, I drew that. I drew the face. Everything else, the snakes. I mean, I designed it on my iPad. It looks great.
Yeah.
It's a nice looking tattoo. And my Harry Styles tattoo is right here. It's treat people with kindness.
Oh, I thought it said twink.
Can you stop being homophobic for like 30 seconds?
I wasn't saying it was bad. I wasn't saying it was bad. Yeah.
You're like, I love twinks. I love twinks. Let it be known. No, TPWK. It stands for treat people with kindness. That's it. Hey, you can't. Here's the thing.
It's hard to argue.
It's one of those arguments. You can't like argue with it. You can't argue with treat people with kindness. You're like, well, but. Yeah.
No, I agree.
Oh my God. All right. So I was 3 in of the first thoughts, knee-jerk reaction. Number 4 is Charlie the Unicorn. That was our childhood, in my opinion. You and me both.
Yeah.
We grew up in the same like internet culture.
It was crazy. It was wild. It was like... I mean, I don't know what it's like for you, but for me, it was like a mix of like Charlie the Unicorn and then a video of somebody getting murdered in the forest. That's what guy sleepovers were a lot of that.
Wait, hold on. First half, you got me. Second, the latter half.
Guy sleepovers were like wild because the internet, you were like 15.
It's out of control.
So you watch funny videos and somebody be like, hey, here's a video of somebody getting murdered in a forest in Russia. And you're like, Like I remember one day we watched that and we went back to school. And then we couldn't make eye contact with each other the next day.
No, I mean, I would understand that would change your fucking life. You watched a person die on camera.
And your teachers would be like, how was everybody's weekend? And you're just like, can we just do geometry, please?
You're just like, so I learned about the Pythagorean theorem. I really, truly did, and it was great. And then...
Why did they have to film it?
And they're like, are you crying? You're like, no. But unrelated, can I have a tissue box, please?
but that's also such an interesting time, too, because like nobody was like, Charlie the Unicorn, this will catch the algorithm. They were like, this will just be whatever this is and just throw it on. And like a lot of things...
They were passionate. It was a passion project, in my opinion.
Yeah, they're like, this is what I like, and I'm going to put it on the internet, and I have no idea how it's going to do. Yeah.
Niche humor.
Yeah.
Charlie, we gotta go. We're burning this place down. There is this very off internet things called Charlie Te Unicorn, where they replace the H and the E. And it's not Charlie the Unicorn, it's Charlie Te Unicorn. And the animation is less like advanced. That's the one that I quote more often. Yo, I'd straight up murder my cousin for some cheddar bay biscuits.
Man, I would kill any one of you assholes for a cheddar biscuit.
Hell, I straight up murdered my cousin for a basket of them. Hey.
CSI Miami.
So Charlie the Unicorn is number 4. Number 5.
Oh wait, I hate to pause. I love how you've asked the most simple questions, and somehow I'm like, yeah, people getting murdered on the like just the most.
That's what I want.
Everything's so unrelated to what you're asking.
I want it. Here's the thing. You're kind of my first here. You're my first comedian on the podcast. And I knew it was going to be chaotic, which is why I didn't ask like serious questions. That's why it was topics. It was just like words.
I'm also down to jump into serious. I'm here for whatever. So,
but in good measure.
Yeah.
In good measure, I don't want a full serious podcast. Ew, gay.
Yeah.
So number 5 is charcuterie boards. No, I'm going to let you go first.
I'd say delicious, but I feel like I'm not in the right place if I see one. I'm excited this is here, but this feels too classy for where you know what I mean? It reminds me of being in places that are
There are some charcuterie boards that are on like plastic dishes.
No, I know. No, that's where I feel the most. I'm like, oh, okay, you guys try to be nice, but you didn't go all the way in. But I don't like.
You spent $14 at Publix.
Yeah, but in your mind, you're like, that is. I'm like, yes, I love seeing that.
I love charcuterie.
But I don't like, and I'm happy with any like a Lunchable, like that still counts in my book. Yeah, yeah, it's like I would say they're delicious, and it's a perfect snack. It's good for like a picnic. I've done it on a picnic with charcuterie, and that's very nice because you can kind of like just casually eat a little bit. But as I said, like it does remind me a little bit of parties that are like I'm a little bit on edge at.
I understand that. But yeah, it does remind you a lot of Lunchables.
Yeah.
Your favorite cheese? This is not part of the questions.
Brie.
You like brie?
Yeah.
How do you feel about pepper jack?
I love pepper jack.
I love pepper jack, bitch.
Yeah.
Gouda?
Wait, which one's Gouda?
The one that's really good. Pepper jack, Gouda, Havarti. Gouda is very like orange.
Okay, I think I know what this is. It's like a.
Let me show you. Gouda cheese, so good. It's going to videos. Videos and images are very different.
It's kind of weird.
Say it again.
It's weird to watch a video of cheese.
Who the fuck would watch it? Gouda is so good.
Yeah, this is good. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
I love cooking because here's the thing. I am a former, as in 3 months ago, former addict of like. Uber Eats really ruins your life, doesn't it? Well, Uber Eats.
I hate to be in New York, but you don't do it in New York really, because it's
Get
like
out of here.
That is one thing I like about it is you can walk to like pretty close by places, so you don't really have to go that far.
Did you see how close my home is to Taco Bell?
Yeah, it's actually fair too.
So that's yeah, exactly. But
I love Taco Bell. I'll eat it twice in the same day.
One of the questions I had on here was fuck, marry, kill Taco Bell, McDonald's, and Chipotle, which is maybe the deadliest question.
Okay, kill Chipotle.
Mean.
Mayor. Oh, I don't know. Okay, because are we applying these to action? Because I have strong. Wait, can I hop in here?
Yes,
Okay. So like, if you're talking about, it depends how you play it. So if we were turning these into people, then I would fuck Taco Bell because she's the spiciest, but not necessarily the fanciest.
Real spicy.
But she's kind of fun and a kind of like, you're not supposed to be doing this kind of way. You know what I mean? She's like, this is bad for you.
But Chipotle is the healthiest out of them because it's like real shit.
Right, but you don't want to really like, I don't know. You don't really want to fuck. Yeah. You marry Chipotle because she's healthy for you. She's good for you.
Yes, exactly.
It'll be good for you, but it's not gonna be as fun as fucking Taco Bell. But then McDonald's. You've had some fun nights, but it's time for this to end. You got to kill him. You have to.
All
murder.
I think about is gas.
Yeah. But if we were talking about one I had to choose for the rest of my life, that's tough too. Yeah, I guess I just turned them into. Yeah, I guess that's my answer. But I like Taco Bell the most out of those places. But it's bad. It's a toxic
Taco
relationship.
Bell.
Though. It's bad for me.
So I started making quesadillas here, and that was the only thing that deterred me from Taco Bell is making my own quesadillas. So I looked up, I Googled, I was like, what the fuck sauce does Taco Bell put in their quesadillas, and why do I have a serious problem, and why is my life ruined? And it was like a jalapeno sauce, and I was like,
I would never guess that.
And I was like, nah.
I was
like, there's something else that's probably better. And I went to Publix and I was looking for Chipotle mayo because when I'm at work, anytime I get a sandwich, I put Chipotle mayo on it. Delicious. And so I go to Publix and I was like, I couldn't find Chipotle mayo, but I found Chipotle ranch. And I went up to one of the guys who was nearby, like working there. I was like, hey, is Chipotle ranch like pretty much like Chipotle mayo? He was like, no, it's really different. But do you love ranch? I was like, I love ranch.
Yeah.
I was like, I fucking love ranch. He was like, oh, well, then you might like this on the quesadilla. And I was like, I am passionate enough and I know myself well enough.
This will work well.
I love ranch.
Yeah.
You ever had ranch on pizza?
No, same. I need like, especially the Mexican food, I need something to kind of like,
ranch is tame.
Yeah, I need something to tame it a little bit.
No.
Like sour. I love sour cream. I like ranch.
I love sour cream. I have it in my fridge now.
Yeah.
Who is the most famous comedian you've ever met?
I was just gonna say this. Well, I've met. Okay, so
here we go, Michael. Good.
Can I do two?
Of course you can do two.
So I met. I'll do the cooler one first. So I was in Boston, which is my favorite place to do comedy.
That's where I was born.
Yeah. Great city. It's like a cleaner New York.
Oh, really? Wow, I would think the opposite.
But New York's just very dirty. So it's just like rats and piss all over the place.
You're like, it's rats and piss and racists, and I puke all over everything in the subway.
Yeah. I was in town and I was at this place called Nick's Comedy Stop, which like used to be like a big like start. It was never like, it was like a lot of people started there, like Bill Burr, stuff like that. So I was at a show.
Bill Burr is enormous.
Yes, foreshadowing.
Big comedian.
Foreshadowing. I was like at the venue, and the booker is like, "Hey, we got a surprise guest. You're either gonna go before or after him."
No.
Yeah, and I was like, in my mind, I'm like, "Oh, it's probably like Mark Normand or somebody who's like big but not that big." And he's like, "Yeah, it's Bill Burr." He's like, "So just." And I was trying to act cool, so I was like, "Yeah, bro, throw me up wherever. I don't even give a shit." Like, and then obviously, like,
it's Bill Burr.
Yeah, and it's very
He's one of the biggest comedians of all time.
Yeah, he was headlining Fenway Park like 2 days later, so he was like really working out his like last little bit of jokes.
And here I am, man. I'm here to make fun of liberals. I hate them and love them, but my wife is a black woman, so yeah, you know, no, he's loud.
Hey, what are you gonna do? Yeah.
But I like him. Oh,
he's great.
Yeah.
But we walk in, and then where I'm going in the lineup is based on when he's showing up. So I see him walk in, then I was like, oh, okay, I guess I'm following him.
You're like, okay, I guess I'm gonna throw up.
Yeah, I would be.
That's Bill Burr. Here's the thing: I don't agree with everything he says, and I actually think he said a few harmful things. But as a comedian and as like respecting him as an art form, he's great at what he does. Let's be honest.
By the way,
here.
I'll say nobody should agree with most of what I say. I'll say that as a comedian.
You're
It's
like, hey, hands up in the air, very vulnerable.
yeah. Nobody should agree with anything anybody says, especially a comedian. But
Yeah.
no, yeah, he's very talented. And so what happened was like he was really sweet. I had a Rolling Stones shirt on. We talked about like the Rolling Stones for like 10 minutes.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah, like, and I've met a lot of big comics. And I was like, oh, he really was like the nicest I've met out of them.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, the way that you are on stage is always going to be different than the way that you are off stage.
Totally, because you're tapping into different
Yeah.
emotions. It's like when I call my friend like a cocksucker, I don't hate him. It's just like I'm just doing a comedic
You're like,
thing.
I don't think that he actually sucks cock.
I
I
wouldn't
just
care if he
think
did.
that when he does, it's a really good cock.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But it's like you're tapping into like some feeling and exaggerating it on stage. But he like goes up, bodies just
Of course he does. He's Bill Burr.
And you're
That
standing there-
man knows what the fuck he's doing.
Yeah, and you're like, and he had really soft hands, which I'm really mad I didn't make fun of him for, because he's such a tough guy. I'm like, I should have roasted him for having soft hands. But in my head, I was like, it's my first time working at this club. I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
And I go up, bomb for like 3 minutes, and then
You?
do fine.
You
Yeah.
bombed? Aw,
No, don't be.
sweet.
I don't know who would do. Well, the stakes are high and low at the same time because
Yeah.
nobody's like, I bet you he blows Bill Burr out of the water. You know what I mean? They're like, all right.
I literally thought you were gonna be like, I bet you he blows Bill Barr in the back of a bar.
Bill Maher. Oh please.
That's
Bill
annoying.
Maher. But also the really funny part was, this is how devalued comedy is, which is hilarious. The venue turns into a nightclub at night, and
Of course it
Bill Burr is
does.
standing there with the owner and the guy who books comedy, and the owner goes up to the comedy guy and Bill Burr. Bill Burr is standing like right there. He goes, "You guys got to be at by 9:30 on the dot, okay? We got disco coming." And it's like so funny to say that.
9:30.
It's just somebody that you're kicking out, somebody who literally sells out Madison Square Garden. Other really funny. Do we have time? Just quick.
Of course you do. I don't have a time limit. If this podcast ends up being 2 hours, I don't give a shit because it's gonna be so funny.
Oh, thank you. And yeah, I said, feel free to cut. I never take offense because I know you got to keep it to whatever.
Of course.
But yeah, another funny story about Bill Burr. He went into a comedy club one time and they didn't recognize. He was headlining Madison Square Garden, and he was just
How did they not recognize him?
It's so funny. It's just like such a weird industry where like some people working at a comedy club just don't know. And this woman literally goes, she gives him information for bringer shows, which is like a bringer show is like if you bring out 10 people, you can perform. So and he's like
10?
And he's like he goes, I'm just not even. And he was doing Madison Square Garden that night. It was called LOL Comedy Club. It just shut down like a week ago.
Okay.
But anyways, I went up, did okay, but as I said, the stakes are high and low at the same time because you're like, it's not like nobody's gonna expect me to do way better than him. But then I met Chappelle one time too, and he was
You met Chappelle?
hammered. So he
That is out of control.
yeah.
Chappelle?
Yeah.
I have mixed feelings on him. I don't love the way he talks about trans people. I don't think he's helping the movement, but I also think he's pretty legendary, and I think he's been doing it for a long time.
People are
I think
layered,
it's
yeah.
probably helped the black community.
Yeah.
But just because you've helped the black community doesn't mean you've helped the trans community. I
Yeah,
think
those are really
it's,
different things,
you know
yeah.
what I mean? Like I stay in sort of a neutral, like gray place. I'm someone who I would love to do stand-up comedy as a job. I think podcasting is a really good way to sort of piggyback off of that
Yeah.
or like start that. But so I respect immediately. I have an immediate respect to comedians, but I can also understand like, I don't know if you've been great for certain communities that are not very protected.
I feel it's so funny too because it's like
Yeah.
I don't want to get into all my pains on this. I'll talk to you off air about it. I just don't like talking about
Absolutely.
Yeah, but it is very funny that you take so much responsibility for every
Absolutely.
person that gets brought. Like it's like
Even though I'm a small podcast,
yeah,
so
but you're
small.
You're just like I feel like you're a very like empathetic person.
Absolutely.
And I'm the same way, but I have I'm so like I feel like whenever somebody's brought up, you have to be like, okay,
Hold on a second.
I don't hate
Yeah.
these people, yeah. But I get my fan base is like, hey, you kind of weren't crazy enough. This like I have a way different thing. Where like people get mad at me for prefacing too much on mine, but It was like weird.
Really? Wow.
Well, because they're like, we know you enough. We know you're not a piece of shit, so you don't have to.
But a lot of people, let's say it's the first time they're listening to your podcast episode. That's why you put that disclaimer.
Right.
It's because you care enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But then there's also some fans that like I kind of don't want. I mean, everybody has a totally different thing. But I want fans that are kind of like, oh, okay, I don't. Yeah, I don't know. I want to go back into the Chappelle thing, but I don't want to talk about the thing.
Back into by all means. Yeah.
But it was at I met him just he parties hard, so he would get drunk and go to this.
I believe that.
Him and Chris Rock are both on stage doing like a thing at this comedy club in New York, and my friend works there a lot, and so he's like, "Oh, you want to come to the thing?" And I was like, yeah. And so I first went down, and the owner of the club was like, nobody else is allowed in here. And then she left, and then he's like, God, just fucking come inside. And then I just watched Chappelle vibe on stage for like 4 hours, just bobbing his head, like not even talking, just drunk, just and Busta Rhymes.
But everyone loves Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
That's why. Exactly.
And then afterwards at like 3 a.m., somebody introduced me. He's like, hey, Michael, nice to meet you. And then that was it.
Yeah.
But yeah. Not as good as the Bill Burr story, but as like a kid, like I grew up on Chappelle's show, so I was like, oh, holy shit, this is crazy to see. And then I've just seen a lot of people in passing. Like I've seen Kevin Hart before. I talked to Amy Schumer briefly.
You did?
Yeah. Because I used to sell tickets. It's called barking, so you have to like sell enough tickets so you can get stage time. And you do it right by another comedy club that's like the Comedy Cellar is the best club in New York. And then the kind of secondary clubs are in that area. So all the comics in the Comedy Cellar will come by and they know what you're doing, so they'll talk to you. So like Amy Schumer would come up and like talk to me about shit. Like,
how did you feel about Amy Schumer in person?
She was cool in person. I didn't have any issues with her.
How do you feel about female comedians in general?
I have no problem with them. I think they're just as fun. This is what I think happens though.
Here we go.
I have opinions on this. I think that
whatever it is, I feel like I'll agree, but please go into your
100%.
Uh-oh, looks like I'm leaving y'all on a cliffhanger. This concludes part 1 of my interview with Michael Good. I had to split it up into 2 parts because in reality, this interview went on for more than 3 fucking hours. I'm not kidding. So I had to cut out many unnecessary parts, and even still, I was only able to get down to like 2 hours or 2.5 hours or something like that. So there's no goddamn way that I'm going to make you guys sit and listen to a 2-hour episode. And there's also no goddamn way that I'm going to spend so many hours editing all this when I could really just give you guys this and then keep y'all interested for part 2, which will come out in 2 to 3 weeks, because I already have other episodes backlogged that are scheduled to come out. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode for what it was. I really did become like a different person in this episode. That's what happens when I'm around comedians, I guess. Anyways, I'll see you guys again soon. Hope you enjoyed. Please go ahead and follow Michael Good on all social medias. And remember, if you ever feel like you don't fit in on this earth, don't worry. You are out of this world. Thanks for listening, guys. And stay tuned.